Hello, welcome back to another video. This is for Moodle developer. If you're interested in creating an extension, or as we call it, interaction type for interactive video plugin, this tutorial is for you. What I'm going to do in this video is showing you a step by step on how to create a basic interaction type. I will try to explain and show you where the methods are used, the function of each method as much as possible, and we're not trying to do something advanced, but you need to at least have some experience with Moodle development. For example, setting up the development environment, running grunt or CLI command, and stuff like that. Because I'm not going to cover all of those steps. So the focus will be on creating a plugin for interactive video extension. All right, without further ado, let's get started with creating a plugin. For the interaction type, you can use any type of plugin. So far, I've created one in block, and the rest are all in local because it's easy to keep everything in one folder. If you, for example, already have a mod plugin, you can extend your existing mod to become the interaction type as well. So for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to create a local plugin. I'm using this Moodle extension on VS Code to create new extension, a new plugin. So you can install it. It's free. It has the paid plan, but the free plan is really good. So yeah, so click here and then new plugin. You choose local. I'm gonna call it IV hello. The IV prefix here is optional, but I like to add IV, so you know that it's the interactive video extension, and I call it hello world. Hello world. Support. I'm gonna change here later. Go ahead and click create. All right. So I'm gonna change some of these property. Gonna go to one of the existing extension. Version. Let's copy from here. So we want to support the older version of Moodle as well. So for Moodle 4.0 to 5. Let's do 2. All right. And because it requires the interactive video plugin. So we put interactive video as the one of the dependencies, and you must also add rich text as a dependency as well, because this extension, this plugin has to extend the rich text class, right? So we need this one. Gonna save it. Okay, file. So in the callback library, the lib file here, we want to tell Moodle that this plugin is the extension of the interactive video plugin. So to do that, we need a callback function. So if you go to lib here, you can see this one. I'm gonna copy it, put it in here, local hello. So again, what we're doing here is telling Moodle that this plugin is the extension of the interactive video plugin. So any plugin that implements this IV plugin method or function, it will be considered as the extension for the interactive video plugin. So we need a class here and the name. So we're calling it hello, and the class will be located here. This is the namespace here. All right. That's it for the lib, and I'm gonna add a file for styles. Right, if you want to implement any style, you can add the CSS here. AMD, gonna add classes. Database. Okay. That's all we need for now. Class main.php. Right, so we specify here that the class going to be IV hello main, so we need to have this here. And the main class here must be extending the IV plugin rich text main class. And the property that we need to override, or the function that we need to override, is this one, right? So let's go to main class. I'm gonna copy this and I'll explain to you later. Great. So now we have the name, which must be the same as whatever you specify here. So we call it hello. Put it hello here. And then the title. So let's see. Let's go to interaction. Okay, so this is the title. This is the description. This is the icon, and you have this pro badge here, and this is the link to the tutorial, right? So gonna use the plugin name. Icon, we're using Bootstrap icon. It has better support and looks prettier than Font Awesome. I'm gonna choose a random one. Let's do Android. Copy this and paste it here. And then the AMD module. We'll create later the main .js file, and then class, which is this one, and then the form. The form is actually optional, but it is used, by default, when user click on one of the content type to add, you see that there is a form here, right? So this is where you specify the class for that particular form. Okay, and then some important properties here. So hash completion, if your interaction tracks completion, for example, mark complete manually or view, or if you have like other custom completion, you can set this to true. For example, among the existing interaction type, HYP plugin, if you HYP upload, it has the completion tracking, so this property is set to true. And annotation, it doesn't have any completion. It basically the UI, so the property here is set to false here as an example, right? Has timestamp. So for example, external content, you specify a timestamp, and then the interaction is launched when the video arrived at that specific timestamp. So if you have such a requirement or such a feature, you can set this to true. Some interaction type does not have any timestamp. For example, analytic, it doesn't have any timestamp here. So analytic, playlist, reaction, it doesn't rely on timestamp. So all of the related properties set to false, right? Allow multiple. So if this interaction supports multiple instances within the same activity, you can set this to true. What does that mean exactly? So for example, analytic, you can only add once. Reaction, you can only add once. Annotation, you can only add one annotation here, right? But things like rich text, test. You can have multiple instances of rich text on the same video. So that's the property allow multiple here, right? And hash report, if you set this to true, then you will see the column for the interaction on the report page here. Description, gonna plug in description, and author is optional. Tutorial, you can specify the string that you use to identify the URL to this tutorial, and preload strings. Now, by default, this is set to false. If you set this to true, then all the strings that you specify that you have in here will be preloaded. When the video is viewed. So for performance reason, you can set this to false and use JavaScript to get the string translation instead, right? Okay. There's another property that I want to mention here as well. That is here, class main init on report. If you want to initialize this plugin on the report page, you can set this to true. And if you want to set indicate that this is a pro plugin, right? Here, pro plugin, you can use this property. Init on report. Let's go back to init on report. This is used on a playlist. So if you go to playlist, go to report, you can see that the playlist interaction is also enabled on the report page. So yes, because we set it to true here, right? So whatever the script in the init method, I mean the script that you specify in the init method will be loaded on the report page as well, right? Okay, so we have main. Let's do the AMD module. So gonna create a file called main.js. Main.js should extend the base class. So I'm gonna import the base class. Right. And then export defaults class. Let's call it hello. Alright, I'm not gonna do anything for now. We're gonna use everything in the base class. Okay, let's compile that AMD. Run AMD. Currently on a Windows, so I have to specify the root local iv hello. Okay, then going to create a form here. Let's complete this first. Update string plugin description. This is useful. We put tutorial URL as a string because if you have like a different tutorial URL for a different language, you can update the string here. So in English, it links to the English tutorial, or in Spanish, it links to a Spanish tutorial. That would be awesome if you have different language for each tutorial. What else? Let's create form.php. Extend mod interactive video form and base form. Right, so we have a base form here that you can extend. We need to specify the definition at least. Alright, so we can use some function to add basic elements. For example, here standard elements include all the required field like context ID, type, completion, right? So let's do that. Standard elements. And then gonna add a title field. Make it required. I'm gonna add a custom text field. Right, and then let's go back here. So we have completion tracking, XP, display option, and advanced fields here. So we're gonna add those fields. Completion tracking. Okay, let's look at this function. Completion tracking field, defaults, and options. So if you don't specify the options, going to use the default options here. If you look at H5P upload, it has other completion tracking options here. So this is an example if you want to use custom or additional completion tracking. So we're gonna use none here. And then XP. Right. So here if we select none, not tracked, the XP field is hidden. So we have to set that condition as well. Hide XP if the completion tracking equal none, right? Now display option. Advanced field. Has completion. And then we can close this form. Now we have the form fields. And we also have to extend the set data for dynamic submission as well. Okay, so first we're going to use the default set data default. This is where we process whatever that is passed from JavaScript. Right, this one. So this set data default does not do anything with the title and the content. So let me check. Well, actually it does here. Title get default. All right, so we're not going to set the title, but going to set the content field. Equal. Great. And then set data. Okay, so we have the property. The property here, we have form, we have AMD, and here in this folder, we need to do something, implement some callbacks when we install and uninstall the plugin. So what we want to do here, we want to make sure that when the plugin is installed, it is enabled by default. By enabled, I mean it is among the selected interaction type in this config, right? So we're going to create a file called install. Okay, let me go here to the existing one. Right, I'm gonna copy in this. So basically, we getting the existing config for enable content type, and then explode it into array, and then add the new extension into the array, and then put it back into the config. Okay, now uninstall. Uninstall. Okay, so when the plugin is uninstalled, we need to remove that plugin from the enable content type, right? So this is what we are doing. Let me change this. IV hello. Yeah, so we have the basic now. Let's install the plugin. You can run php admin CLI upgrade.php from terminal, or you can go to this site admin. Plugins, interactive video, hello world, and then it's enable here as well. Right, great. Let's see if we can add it from here. Is not found in main 26. We have to change this to IV plugin. We actually are extending the rich text class. Sorry about that. Hello world. Right. Let's put it here. Okay, title, custom text, completion tracking. If we choose other than not track, we should see additional options including XP, display option, Okay. Test. Then save. Great. So this is the content. Let's take a minute to look at the database tables that are being used in this plugin. Okay, so in the interactive video plugins, there are 6 tables that are used. The first one, interactive video. This is for sorry. The data that is coming out from this form. Things like appearance and behavior settings are saved on this table. And then completion, it's the completion row or record for each participant in the course. So when they attempt a video, an interactive video, their completion progress is saved onto this table. And then we have defaults. Defaults is used for the default property or data for the interaction in the course. So where do you set the defaults, right? So here, go to interactions. Let's say you want to set this test. So whatever you set here, like the XP, the minimum minute spent, the advanced setting here as the default for the next interaction within this type. So you can set it as a default for the course. Go to here and then select, click here, and then it becomes a default for new instance of the same type, interaction type, right? And the data that is from this interaction will be saved on this table, right? All right, items refers to each interaction here. So the data that is submitted from this form will be saved on this table. And then log is used for additional user data. For example, if you use H5P upload, H5P content here, when user interacts with the H5P content, we record some log so that, for example, when they return to the video, their progress is retrieved from the database. They can resume their progress, their work. So yeah, some plugins save additional logs. For example, form, when you submit a form, when learners submit a form, their response to the form will be saved onto the log. And then the settings here, is for the course setting. It's probably not relevant to plugin development, but you should know as well. Yeah, so when you submit this form as a teacher, the data from this form will be saved to this table settings. Okay. Let's talk about this content. What if you want to, by default, it's using the whatever text is used in the content field, right? So here, content field. What if you want to process it? You want to add something, or you want to format the string. For example, if it's a math equation, you want to render the math equation. So to do that, you can implement or override a function in the main class. Public function. And then, yeah. So what are in this argument? And where is it passed, right? So if you go to interactive video, display content, this is where the JavaScript content is passed to the server and then return back after it's processed by this get content function, right? So the argument here is this one, annotation argument. It includes everything about the annotation or the interaction and the context. So let's return JSON encode argument. Right. Run again. Now you can see everything here, including the content field here, which is test, right? What if you want to use the title instead of the content field? So you can return things like argument title, which is a test, right? This is the title. We can also return something else totally different from the data in the argument. Hello world. Okay, so if you look at this function render content, it takes two arguments, annotation and format, right? So if by default it's a HTML, and if you set it to JSON, then whatever returns from this get content function will be passed as a JavaScript object, right? If it's an HTML, then it's going to be the text that is returned from this function. But if you set it to JSON, it's going to be a JavaScript object. And this get content is called where. It's actually in the base class here. Render content. Here, render content. It's inside this render method, and then this render method is called where. It's called in the apply method, and then this apply method is called where. It's run interaction, and run interaction is called where. It's called from this file. Run interaction. Here, right? It's called here. So when on this page, when you click here, it's called run interaction, and the methods, the chain of method is called to render this content, the pop-up, the title, whatever here is through the run interaction method. And here's where you click run interaction. If you go to the player,
I'll dive right in and
run interaction is here, right? So it's a chain of methods all together, and eventually it's called to this server, this backend method or function, and return this text back to the client. So again, if you need to process something on the backend from the server, this is the method that handle that processing. But if you don't need to process anything at all, you don't need to call the render method at all. Okay, so that's the main the get content that I want to mention because this is important. Now let's look at some of the JavaScript methods that you can use to extend or change the functionality. The first one is init. This is a very useful function as well. Window console.log. Hello world. Right? So init function, is called after the video is loaded. So on the view annotation on the view page, if you find init here, so it gets all the annotation and then it runs the init function, init method here. So when you implement init here, and if the video use this hello interaction, then this function will be loaded, right? So I'm gonna compile this. Refresh.
R
Here you can see hello world.
of engineering. But here's
It's useful. I mean, it's very useful. For example, you can use it to render button like this. You can use it to hide any control. You can use it to listen to player events. There are a lot of things that you can use the init function for. Let me give you an example for listening to an event. So documents on. Okay, so IV player paused is one event. It triggered or dispatched when the player is paused, the video is paused. Okay, let me import jQuery here. So with jQuery, you can add name class to the name of the event. And I call it hello. So later, if I want to remove this listener, I can just use a document of IV player pause.hello. So it only remove the listener for this namespace while the other listener is still active. Right, so let's get current time. Okay, so this is an example of a player method, and the list of methods can be found under each player. Let's see, YouTube. So all players implement the same methods, right? So each method, for example, play, and then it calls to the original methods for YouTube. So you can use play to pause the video, and if it's a YouTube video, then it implements this original method, right? So you can use any one of these files to see the methods, the available method. So here I'm getting current time. I'm gonna console .log the current time.
It's a fascinating twist in the story. The identity
right? So when I pause the video, it shows the current time. And let's learn to use some method. For example, let's do add notification. Yeah. Self add notification. Current time. And this is the type. I mean, if you want to use the dark one, the black one, you can set this to default.
of this great temple. Well,
There you go. Okay, let's say you only want to run this listener on the player page only, not on the interaction page. Because by default, when you use init function, it runs on both pages, right? So you can use if this is edit mode, return. Right, so you don't see the console hello world anymore, the log hello world. You go to the view page, so you see hello
wasn't
world.
set in stone.
Okay, let's go to the edit page, the interaction page. So as you can see, when we click here, where is it? Hello world, right? It launched the form. So what if you want to do something else? Not the form, or you want to use a different type of form, or you want to use the external service to add the interaction automatically without using the form. So when you click on the add on the content type, interaction type here, it calls the add annotation method in the base, add annotation here. So by default, this is the methods, right? So it use the modal form and use the form that you specify, and then when you save, submit, it calls this AJAX action and dispatch this event. So that's the default functionality. And if you want to change this functionality, you can override it on your main class here. All right, so you can do add annotation taking the same argument. Let's say just console. Console.log. Add annotation. Hello world. Add annotation. False here. Refresh. Add again. Hello world. There you go. No longer the form, and here you can see the log. And what if you want to do something first? For example, change this annotation or call additional method before you launch the form. Yes, you can do so. For example, log this first and then run the original method, right? Okay, refresh. Hello world. So you get the form and you also get the log here, right? One thing to note, which is very important, is that whatever you do with the add annotation, make sure you dispatch an event after the data is saved, right? So here, if you look at add annotation, scroll down. Yeah, when the form is submitted, it gets the new annotation, right? And then it dispatch an event called annotation updated, and the action is add, and annotation is the new annotation. So this is important because we are using cache. So the annotation is cached. When you call annotation updated, it will be purged. The existing cache will be purged and recached, right? So make sure you call this, you dispatch this event. So if you want to know what happens when this event is dispatched, you can go to edit annotation here, and then, right, so here on annotation updated, it's called, this action is called cache, and then the subsequent process is loaded as well, right? So again, whatever you do with add annotation, make sure you dispatch an event. Not just any event, but this annotation updated event, right? And we also have edit here. So when you click on this button, it launches this form. We go to base and search for edit annotation. Right, so this is the default behavior. Again, you can override this method, but also make sure that you dispatch this event. So the action here is edit, right? And copy or clone the method is this one, clone, and then delete annotation. And when you clone, make sure to dispatch in the annotation update event, and the action is clone. I think it's long enough. It's more than an hour already. So I'm gonna stop for now, and let's see if we need the second part. Right, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any question. I'm gonna put the code here, what you've seen so far on GitHub.